Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we've got some pretty cool things to talk about. So as of yesterday, we got all of the information on all the changes coming to the Burning Crusade. We got the launch of the Burning Crusade pre-patch date, which is going to be January 13th, just under 2 months away. But with the launch of pre-patch is going to come a ton of changes for the Burning Crusade. I think that they're all a massive W, but I want to know what you guys think. So after we get through all these changes, we're going to talk about them, and let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and be sure to follow me over on kick.com/hammerdance. We stream Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. So I'm going to pull up all of these changes. Wowhead just put out a list of the best changes, and that is what we're going to use as a reference for this video. You guys should be able to see it on the screen. So this is the best changes coming to TBC Anniversary, account-wide attunements, guild bank, Terracone spawn rates, and much more. So starting off, we have account-wide attunements and heroic keys. Yes, you heard that right. Blizzard, listen, this is something that a lot of us have been advocating for since we knew the Burning Crusade was coming, right? So let's read through this. It says, it's rare to discuss TBC without the long attunement chains coming up. While these are a core part of the TBC experience, it can be a little bit off-putting if you want to play alts, which is what we've been saying, right? Playing alts in TBC kind of sucks because these attunements are pretty hardcore. So in TBC Anniversary, once your character is fully attuned to a raid, this raid will be unlocked for all of the characters on your Battle.net account, meaning every character afterwards, every alt you play, you will not have to redo those attunements, which is massive. Along with this change, players who reach Revered with a faction will be able to send a bind-on-account version of a dungeon's heroic key, as long as the character who received the key is friendly with that faction. So basically, you're going to have to grind to Revered once with the factions to unlock the key for the heroic dungeon, and then all you have to do on your alt is be friendly with that faction to then use that key that's going to be sent over from your main. So it's a little bit different than how they did it the first time, right? The first time we went through TBC, they just dropped it down, I think, to Honored from Revered later on in the expansion. This, I think, is a way better system. You grind out the Revered rep one time, and then now on your alts, all you need to do is be friendly, and you can then send a bind-on-account version of that key to that alt and be able to run those heroic dungeons. So going down for the blue post here, it says every player's first character will be required to become fully attuned, hitting Revered reputation level with any of the factions for the heroic dungeons. But upon doing so for each dungeon, players can then purchase a bag which contains a bind on Battle.net account key to send to your alts. And the same thing goes for raids. Every player's first character will be required to become fully attuned for each raid, but upon doing so, that raid will be unlocked for all characters on the player's Battle.net account. This is massive in my opinion. Now, moving on to something that was a little bit more controversial, but honestly, I'm happy with the change. Heroism and Bloodlust are now raid-wide with a 10-minute sated/exhaustion debuff, meaning no more swapping shamans out to chain Bloodlust or any of that stuff. This specific ability/debuff will only to reset on boss kills and wipes, meaning if you do wipe on the boss, you can do it again. Oh, look at this. Are we getting ganked right now? We are getting ganked right now. This is hilarious. We're going to just stay dead. Thank you, Sourdough. Anyway, I think it's a massive change. I do. I really think it's really good. It's going to get rid of that annoying, swapping groups for shamans that we will have to be doing in TBC. No longer are you going to have to do that. And anyone out there who's going to say, oh, this sucks, like now shamans aren't going to want to be brought to raid as much, that's not true. You still have all of your totems, which are for the group. You're still going to be wanting to stack your shamans. So if you made a shaman hoping that you would just have a never-ending raid spot, don't worry, that is still a thing because of your totems. I just think that this change really does get rid of some of that annoying gameplay from TBC, like group management and swapping mid-boss fights. That wasn't designed to be that way, and let's be real, it was pretty terrible. So this change, absolute W in my opinion. Scrolling down, we have some more things. Terracone's respawn rate is increased, and additional Terracone nodes have been added. So Terracone is going to be plentiful. You're going to be able to farm Terracone, hopefully, with these changes. I don't see anything wrong with this. I think this is a massive W as well. And then we're also getting a UI edit mode, right? Similar to Retail WoW. Now we're going to be able to edit the UI in Classic. So if you're someone who, you use LVUI or Xpearl or Shadow Uniframes, any of those add-ons to just move around elements of your UI, but you really like the vibe of the original Classic UI, now you're going to be able to just keep that Classic UI and move it around, which is amazing in my opinion. It's been a long time coming. I'm actually really happy that this is finally making its way into Classic, right? I feel like this should have been in a long time ago, but big W here on Blizzard's part. I think having an edit mode for the UI is amazing. Next, guild banks from the start. They were originally introduced in patch 2.3. This quality of life feature will be available for guilds to store their valuable goods right from the start. Unlike Burning Crusade Classic, the Anniversary Edition will deliver you and your guild a place to store all of your items and gold to be shared among guildmates right out of the gate. The guild bank is found inside the bank and accessible by clicking on the vault near the bankers. There are 8 purchasable tabs with 98 item slots each. Unlike regular banks, bags are not needed for these slots. The price for the first tab is 100 gold and increases for each successive tab. Players with the appropriate permissions can store items and money for use by the rest of the guild, with the guild master giving different permissions to each tab as needed. So, honestly, guys, I really do think that these are some seriously big, good W changes by Blizzard. I know there's people out there complaining about some of them. I know that Classic Era is also now going to be getting dual talents, and I know that's a controversial one, but let's be real, doesn't really impact the game in a bad way, and if you don't want dual talents, you don't have to buy it, in my opinion. So I think that Blizzard with these changes is moving in the right direction, right? These are some good changes. I don't really think we're going to expect to see any class changes in TBC. I think this is probably the extent of what we're going to be getting as far as changes go, and I think they're all good. They keep the original feeling of the Burning Crusade, right? You have those core TBC values, but with a little bit of quality of life, right? Like the Terracone, the Guild Bank, the account-wide attunements. I think the way they did it this time is better than the last time, right? I think that having to actually farm that revered rep at least once is part of the experience, so that you did have to do it once. And then if you want to play some alt, it's a lot more friendly, right? You just send that key over. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think about these changes down in the comments below. Again, I think they're a massive W. Follow me on kick.com/hammerdance. I stream Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. And subscribe to the channel if you love Classic WoW just as much as me. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one.